Okay, so for today we will discuss about rapid tissue processing. So what is rapid tissue processing? Routine tissue processing methods have traditionally used the principles described in the previous chapters. So you already know fixation followed by dehydration, clearing, impregnation, and embedding, typically in an overnight process. While frozen sections have been used when there was an urgent need for immediate histopathologic evaluation. Some specimens, and for that matter, some diagnoses are not amenable to frozen section study, either by the nature of the specimen or the complexity of the diagnosis. So accelerated specimen processing methods were developed, typically with very small specimens. By shortening the time in each of the steps above, while these procedures resulted in considerable time savings, they are not applicable to all specimens and have not been widely accepted. So in the past 2 decades, there has been considerable interest in the application of microwave technology in histopathology. Commercial microwave ovens have been used in fixations, special stain procedures, in antigen retrieval methods for immunohistochemical staining, and even in transmission electron microscopy. So specific methods have been developed to facilitate incorporation of microwave technology in the histology laboratory with manual, semi-automated, and fully automated systems, incorporating computer control of the microwave dosage, temperatures, and vacuum paraffin impregnation. So how do microwave work? The basic principles take advantage of the actions of the microwaves when applied to tissues immersed in solutions. So microwave excitation of the molecules increases movement in both the solutions and the tissues, resulting in improved tissue penetration and fixation, with preservation of the many tissue antigens of diagnostic interest. So this also shortens the time of tissue penetration and fixation. There are, however, some size constraints, as large tissue sections greater than 1.5 mm thick, take note, may show inadequate or uneven penetration of reagents, leading to incomplete clearing and paraffin impregnation. So the size should be not greater than 1.5 mm thick. The equipment used in rapid tissue processing can vary from kitchen-type microwave ovens to sophisticated semi-automated or automated instruments. These systems all use the same basic principles with some distinctive variations that can accommodate different laboratory needs and practice patterns. Because their magnetrons were not precisely controlled, early work with the kitchen-type microwaves resulted in uneven heating and sometimes unpredictable amount of delivered energy. We also have specifically designed microwave units that has already been developed, which utilize a removable reaction vessel to hold the cassettes with manual reagent exchanges according to a predetermined schedule. These units represent an economical method for rapid tissue processing, but only on a relatively small scale. They are also relatively labor-intensive. So this is an example. An enclosed system similar in configuration to modern vacuum-assisted conventional tissue processors has been introduced. This instrument, when combined with microwave fixation, can reduce processing time to about 3 hours and may also be used in a formalin-free environment. So like traditional instruments, these rapid processors run in batch mode. Once the cycle has begun, no additional tissues can be added for processing until the cycle is completed. Large tissue blocks may still require special handling to prevent incomplete fixation, or tissue clearing, small blocks such as endoscopic biopsies can be processed with an abbreviated protocol. So we also have the rapid tissue processing method, unlike the closed system that runs in batch mode. So the rapid tissue processing method is a system of continuous throughput rapid tissue processing has been developed. So it allows for the addition of new specimens to the processor every 15 minutes as a reaction chamber becomes available. So automated system utilizes computer-controlled microwave delivery and temperature controls in a formalin-free environment. Take note, reagent volumes are small and all reagents are relatively inexpensive and are not toxic. Silane has also been eliminated, take note of that, and vacuum-assisted paraffin impregation allows for a complete processing cycle of only about 60 to 70 minutes. So several studies have shown that tissue section quality after rapid tissue processing is comparable and in some cases superior to conventional tissue processing methods, with no detrimental effects on the commonly used special stain procedures. Immunohistochemical stains can be performed on sections without antigen retrieval in some cases, and with more highly diluted primary antibodies in others. So the most dramatic impact of rapid tissue processing has been in the turnaround time for completion of surgical pathology reports. So it is reported that up to 2/3 of cases could be processed and signed out the same day the specimen was received in the laboratory, a significant departure from conventional surgical pathologic practice. So rapid tissue processing is very convenient. Of course, we still need to wait in regards to conventional tissue processing. We still have to wait for several days before the tissue section will be completed, but with rapid tissue processing, it can do the same day turnaround time, which is very convenient. It also reported significantly reduced turnaround times for surgical pathology reporting in a large regional laboratory. So the use of a continuous throughput rapid processing system significantly changes the traditional workflow in the histopathology laboratory for both the histotechnologist and also the pathologist, as specimens are processed and diagnosed throughout the day when they are received from their surgical suites. So there is no need for the very early arrival in the laboratory, as the workflow follows the arrival of the surgical specimens. So of course, there are also no traditional early morning sign-outs of the surgical pathology cases by the attending pathologist. So instead, the reading of the cases follows the flow of the specimens throughout the day, with the bulk of cases arriving at midday or afternoon. So in some institutions, the entire sequence of needle biopsy, tissue processing, slide interpretation, and immunohistochemistry for receptors has been carried out within about 4.5 to 5 hours. Since the significant cases are signed out the same day, there is also no need for weekends or Saturday shifts, which adds significant flexibility to weekday scheduling. So another advantage of rapid tissue processing is that you can do your work as the tissue processing go along. And then there's no need for weekend duties, there's no need for overtime and early sign in and late sign outs. So we have the advantages of rapid tissue processing. Number one, the chief advantage of rapid tissue processing is the early diagnosis for the patient, allowing more time for discussion and planning of treatment in some cases during the same clinic visit as the biopsy. Some urgent cases, such as transplant patients and others, can benefit by adjustments in therapy as redirected by promptly obtaining biopsy results. Number two, Again, another advantage is the elimination of toxic chemicals. So formalin and xylene has been eliminated from the work environment, and also elimination of requirements to monitor these fumes in the laboratory. Kaya diba, they are very carcinogenic. Number 3, immunohistochemical reactions are not adversely affected and in most cases are enhanced by rapid tissue processing. 4, with appropriate fixatives, molecular analysis for DNA, RNA, and proteins can be performed from paraffin blocks with results rivaling those obtained from fresh or frozen tissues. Number 5, rapid microwave processing results in a more family-friendly work hours for histotechnologists and also the pathologists. 6. Microwave processing reduces reagent usage and cost, for short amount of reagents are only used. Of course, if we have the advantages, we also have the disadvantages. So number 1, sections must be thin enough so fixative and dehydrating solutions can penetrate completely, about 1.5 millimeter thick. This may increase the time required in grossing of the specimens. Number 2, certain type of tissues, we have the brain and large tissue blocks, may require additional step before placing into the rapid tissue processor. Number 3, continuous flow processing eliminates batching of specimens and necessitates ongoing attention to the instrument. Because diba, since samples complete the processing cycle, they must be removed from the instrument to accommodate the next basket of the cassettes. So there is a need of the constant attention to the instrument for you to get the cassette and then put another cassette in. The fourth disadvantage is that inexpensive kitchen microwave ovens has been used in the past. So now we need microwave units that is specifically designed for tissue processing, since they have better controls and can provide an even distribution of energy to the tissues. And also they already have a cassette holder inside. So we now go to microwave fixation. Microwave fixation, while rapid tissue processing by microwave methods can accept a number of different tissue fixatives, non-formaldehyde fixatives have been shown to have several advantages. So an alcohol-based fixative has recently been introduced, which when combined with a formalin-free microwave-based rapid tissue processing has been demonstrated to permit the recovery of DNA, RNA, and proteins for molecular analysis. So this universal molecular fixative known as UMFix, Sakura Finetech, USA Incorporated, Torrance, California, is a mixture of methanol and polyethylene glycol and is an excellent and cost-effective alternative to formalin. So take note of the universal molecular fixative known as UMFix, UMFIX. So UMFix is a non-volatile and active at room temperature. The morphology of UMFix exposed tissue is comparable to that of the fixed formalin, and high molecular weight RNA is preserved in tissue that is immediately fixed and stored up to 8 weeks at room temperature. The elimination of formalin in both the fixation process and the processing has improved the quality of antigen preservation in the tissue sections. So there's no shrinkage. An added benefit is the elimination of noxious formalin fumes from the workplace, as well as expensive ambient air formalin monitoring programs. Because in some laboratory, they have formalin monitoring programs so that formalin fumes will not be stuck in the same room, for they are very carcinogenic. Okay, so these are the tissue sections with different stains. So we can see the fix in the fourth one. They are very comparable or somewhat superior than the other stains. So we can see that the NBF 10% somehow washed out. Then also the modified Davidson. While the fix, you can still see the cell morphology somehow much better. For microwave processing, microwave processing is based on the principle of using, again, the microwave energy to speed up the diffusion of liquids in and out of the specimen. So microwave heating also stimulates the diffusion of alcohols used in histological processing as opposed to conventional tissue processor which use a graded series of alcohol, diba? So increasing grade of alcohol, also a clearing agent, which is usually xylene, and paraffin wax in an overnight process. So the enhanced diffusion of alcohol into the specimen by microwave heating allows dehydration to be done in only one step. Paraffin must be added to the microwave in liquid form as microwave energy will not melt the paraffin pellets. So it must be brought to the boiling point of the intermedium, so 82 degrees Celsius for ethyl alcohol and 78 degrees Celsius for isopropanol. So take note of that. To flash evaporate the remaining ethyl alcohol or propanol. So when exposed to these high microwave temperatures, the alcohols quickly heat and dissipate, while the paraffin remains inert, allowing the paraffin to fully infiltrate the specimen. So this eliminates the use of xylene. Kaya diba, what's the use of xylene? The alcoholization or clearing agent. So there's no need for that. All you have to do is to just increase the boiling point, or you reach the boiling point of 82 for ethyl alcohol and 78 degrees Celsius for isopropanol for it to flash evaporate. Take note of that term. So microwave processing requires very precise maintenance of temperature, which is not possible with the use of the kitchen type microwave ovens, whose temperature and out power are not precisely specified, leading to inadvertent overheat and miscalculation of the percentage output power. So laboratory microwaves are now specifically designed and equipped with a thermocouple temperature and controller to maintain temperatures within a very narrow range of plus minus 1 degree Celsius, thereby producing consistent and reproducible results. Now, we also have the microwave staining. So microwave methods can significantly reduce the time required for staining the tissue, particularly when using heavy metallic ions or the metallic stains such as the methylene silver. In general, microwave slides have better contrast, more intense staining, and less non-specific staining compared with conventional metal staining methods. Calibrated laboratory microwaves equipped with temperature probes and air bubble agitation device have largely addressed the earlier problems of the inconsistent, uneven heating observed with the kitchen-type microwave, so they are more apt for the procedure. The optimum temperature should be 75 to 95 degrees Celsius for metallic stains and 55 to 60 degrees Celsius for non-metallic stains. Take note of that. So we have here pictures. The first photograph is of the microwave stain sections, while the second photograph is of the routine stain sections. So as you can observe from the first photograph, it has better contrast. It has intense staining, and less non-specific staining. While in the routine stain section, it is harder for pathologists to diagnose this if it is compared to microwave stain sections because it has more non-specific stainings. So you can observe that there are less creases in the second picture compared to the first picture. And it also doesn't have a better contrast. Okay. So now we go to microwave immunohistochemistry. Microwave irradiation can accelerate the immunohistochemical process while also retaining the quality of staining. When performed at a temperature of 37 degrees Celsius for 2 to 3 minutes, take note of that, followed by room temperature incubation. Okay, so that is all. Thank you for listening.